Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the foggiest day I've ever seen in Tampa. The humidity is 98% and you can barely see anything outside. And it's 45 degrees out, which is pretty cold for Tampa. Today, I'm going to be driving to Naples, which is about a 2.5-hour drive south to go to this really epic car show that I'm really excited to go to. And I can't wait to see what's there. But because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, I need some coffee and I barely drink coffee, so I'm gonna pay for a way too expensive Starbucks drink because, well, I'm an idiot. Well, that was a really long drive. There was so much traffic when I got off of the highway and parking was almost impossible to find. This parking garage was so full and it took me like half an hour to find a spot. One thing I don't like what people do is don't be like the Chevy Cruze. Don't do a BMW parking job. Don't be that person. But let's head on to the show, and I'm excited to see what's over there. This is a insane turnout. It's so crowded. We got the 1K Motorsports Koenigsegg CCX. Is this a 765 or 720? It's a 720. Okay. Take a look at this engine bay. I mean, you can just see every little part in this. And then this is the 1K aftermarket exhaust. Probably sounds absolutely insane. Twin supercharged V8. Oh my, that's insane, that Koenigsegg. Oh. And then right next to the CCX, we got a McLaren P1 in race mode with rift wheels. This is insane. So I got a rift exhaust. This thing is probably insanely loud. And nobody does paint like McLaren. Just look at the flake in this paint. This is absolutely insane. This thing is just absolutely insane. And over here we got the interior of the Koenigsegg. This thing is insane. Look at that gear lever. Oh my gosh, this is insane. Like, look how slow the people are moving over there. I can barely get any shots of the front of these cars. But we have a Urus STO. The Revuelto is my first time actually seeing one of these things. I've seen some like mixed things about how it looks. I absolutely love it. And these exhaust tips being up here, the rear end was like a little controversial, but in person I think it looks amazing. And I love the fact that they still managed to put a naturally aspirated V12 in a brand new production car. Also, check out the interior on that. That is sick. And then over here we got a Huracan Technica, but this thing is really cool. A Hennessy Venom F5. This is my second time ever seeing one of these things, but I've never seen one in fully exposed carbon. It's sick. I really like this car. I was just watching a video from the Hamilton collection of when they spec'd theirs. And dude, I freaking love this thing. This thing is just insane. I mean, look at that interior and the steering wheel and the roof scoop. With a convertible with a roof scoop, I don't think it gets much cooler than that. This thing is insane. I can't wait to see some more content about these. And these things sound absolutely nuts. So over here we have one of the best spec 918s I think I've ever seen. This blue, I don't know what it's called, but it looks amazing. Got the exhaust right behind your head. And look at that interior. That is so sick. And look at the seats. The green piping everywhere. I mean, like, this thing, if it came out today, I would believe you. The design has aged so well. It's incredible. And just look at the rear on that. That's amazing. So there's still a bunch of people here, but you got a little bit more of a better view of the front of this thing. All right, so moving on from the 918. Oh my God, looks like a Porsche Cup car, GT2 RS, GT2 RS, bunch of speedsters and older 911s like 993s, 964s. I honestly, it's hard for me to kind of keep up with everything. There's just so much to see and it's so crowded. Oh man, an RS 4-liter. This thing is a very, very special car. The 4-liter is unique to this car only. And to me, like, this is, I feel like, the ultimate raw 911. You got the manual gearbox. It's just insane. It's like the GT3 RS of the GT3 RS. It's just insane. If you don't really know what it is, you might not really realize how special this thing actually is. Then we got a more GT3 RS 991.1.2, GT2 RS, GT3 RS, and then the new GT3 RS, the 992. Absolutely beautiful. Oh my God. All right, let's go over here. All right, and then we got my friend Sean's car right here. We got the new GT3 RS, and then this looks like it's a 991.1 GT3 RS. 2 Cayman GT4 RSs. Look at this color. This is beautiful. I love the color combination on that. We got some more stuff over here. I think it's a 718 Spider. Oh my God, there's just so much. GT3, 997, GT3, 911 Turbo S exclusive series. That's pretty cool. And then we got a 911 Dakar in the really cool livery. I love this thing. Super huge soft spot for that. Continental, and that looks like it's a Portofino. Giulia Quadrifoglio. I think those are the Tonale, so we got a bunch of those over there. Nice spec on this Portofino. And then we got a 720 McLaren GT. Alrighty, McLaren GT, DBS Superleggera, LP580-2 Huracan Spider. Now this is like an intersection of the road, so we can go multiple directions. And, oh, car alarm went off. This particular section is where the big heavy hitters are. So over here we have the Rimac Nevera, insane car. And then we got a LaFerrari, a Koenigsegg over there, and I believe an Elva over there. So I'm gonna try my best to get through here. I'll probably just film the backs though. Please excuse the car alarm, but there's the back of the Rimac. This black LaFerrari looks insane. A beautiful Regera. And then we have an iridescent McLaren Elva. Koenigsegg and Pagani, in my opinion, do the best carbon fiber work. They're just insanely beautiful. Fun fact about this thing, it's actually not the exhaust. That is right there. There's 2 of them on either side. The exhaust is incorporated within the diffuser. I forgot what that was for. I think it's for like air or something like that. But fun fact about that. So the hypercars are over there. We have this little section here near where I parked. Got a Vantage, a Z8. It's always a treat seeing one of these things. Absolutely beautiful car. California DB11 Urus, Gran Turismo, or Gran Cabriolet technically. And then there's a Continental over there. So here we can have a better view of the Elva. So there's the two exhausts there, and there's actually another exhaust right there on the top. This is a Karma. Like, remember Fisker? They renamed the brand Karma, even though Fisker is now another brand, and they have an SUV called the Ocean. Never seen this before. I have no idea much about it. I hope it's successful, but I don't know. Karma's been been a little weird, so I guess we'll see if anything comes about with this thing. So interesting thing about this Karma. Now, comment below if you actually think this is true, but for a split second, when I looked at just this part of the rear, I thought it was an LFA. It's a good looking car though. So I've been told this was a prototype. So I'm very intrigued and excited to see what comes about with this thing in the future. So over here we got a bunch of Lotus cars right here, a lot of Amiras. The Amira, I want one so bad as a daily. It would be just perfect. I sat in one on the car rally a couple months ago, and I fell in love with the car. I think Lotus absolutely nailed the looks. Like, I wouldn't change a thing. They really did a good job with the Amira. Got this really unique 720S. And then we got this Ghost. Look at the paint on this thing. Wow. Look at that. That is beautiful. So next to the Ghost, we got a Gallardo LP560. I don't see the LP560s very often. Then we got a Huracan Evo. This is a 570. Oh, it's a 620R. Okay. And then we got a Huracan STO. This green is, wow. Look at that metallic in that. Wow. I love the spec on this thing. Oh man, look at that. And then SLS Black, pre-LP Gallardo. We're gonna take a look at this SLS Black. Because this thing, SLS Black is very rare. I believe one of 350 cars worldwide. This looks like it's been wrapped. My dad had like a Mercedes from like 2008, and the temperature controls and like the whole phone thing, it just reminds me of that when I was in my dad's Mercedes. But I mean, besides that, this is no ordinary Mercedes. This thing, naturally aspirated V8, sounds incredible. Gullwing doors paying homage to the original SL Gullwing. And yeah, this is just a really cool car. Cannot go wrong with a Black Series SLS. So I do apologize if I'm not showing you the front. It's just there's so many people here. Look at this. Interior is actually in pretty good shape considering it's a Spider and it's a pre-LP Gallardo. The 600 LT is, wow, look at the spec on this thing. And it's got the Senna seats in it. Yeah, this thing's beautiful. And then we got a SF90. Don't know what types of, I don't know what model those are, but those look like multi-piece wheels. Oh, it's a Spider too. And then we got a 720S. And then this looks like it's a SF90 as well. I think it's the Assetto Fiorano edition, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then over here, we have a V12 Vantage Roadster. This color's insane. This car is insane. It looks unreal. I mean, look at the wing in the back of this thing. The V12 Aston Martin. Basically, the smallest car with their largest engine. This is insanely beautiful. I love this car. And then we got, I'm gonna be honest with you, I actually don't know the name of this thing. So next to this, we got this Maserati convertible. I honestly don't know the name of this thing. Probably should. Nice engine bay though. And then over here, next to the SF90, we have a 488 Spider, but we have the Purosangue, the Ferrari FUV as they call it. And I've seen one of these before when I was at Goodwood in England, and I've gotta say that this thing is actually quite beautiful, especially in this color. And I mean, you cannot argue with a naturally aspirated V12 in a brand new car in 2024. I thought Ferrari was only gonna put the twin turbo V8 in this thing. They might later, but props to them for putting the V12 in this thing. And I actually think it is quite beautiful. It's kind of got like a larger hatchback kind of vibe. I haven't really gotten too much experience on the inside, but I really like this thing. It's just crazy how expensive it is and how hard to get this thing is. Like, this thing is, I think, double the price of a Urus, which is just, it's a little difficult to comprehend. But it's a really cool car, actually, because of the V12. Well, yeah, this is, I think, one of those cars that you should see in person before you make a judgment, and in a good spec, like this red. A less controversial looking car is the Roma Spider in this case, or Roadster. The Roma is one of the most beautiful modern Ferraris. It's stunning. Some people complain it does look like an Aston, and I'm like, I'm not complaining on that. And then over here we have a 296 GTB. And then we're gonna head down there. Touching on quickly the DBS, the Vanquish, I believe this is. Yeah. And then it looks like it's a 720S. And over there we have a CLK Black. So look at the interior on this Vanquish. This is beautiful. So I ran into a problem where this is quite slow and it's hard to see the cars. So I'm going to be showing you the backs again. CLK Black. Got an NSX. I'm not sure if this is a Type S or not, but I think this is a very underrated supercar. It's a good looking car, and it's pretty fast and really impressive technology in this thing. Then we got an MC20. This thing is just a work of art. I love how this thing looks. I think this is an Alpha. I don't know what that is. So I was mistaken. It's a Fiat 1500 Osca. It's pretty cool. And we got a bunch of two Ford GTs over there. So we got the two Ford GTs right over here. This thing, it's just insane looking. What always seems to amaze me is these right here. That's just insane. And there's a bunch of Star Wars stuff on here, which just makes it automatically that much cooler. Love this sign. Please don't touch my girl unless I can touch yours. That's hilarious. And then this one, I think this is like the Heritage livery, if I'm not mistaken. So this thing's going to be worth, I think, a lot more than this. But I actually quite like the white. It looks so futuristic. So next to the Ford DT, getting a little deja vu from the St. Pete car show I went to. That video is edited. It will probably be up once the time this video comes out, but it's currently not uploaded yet. We have a Spiker C8, but this one's a convertible. The other one was a coupe with a roof scoop on the top. But I love this car. I have a huge soft spot for this thing because of just how unique it is. Probably one of my favorite things about the Spiker is the interior. Look at this thing. I mean, to me, if you want the closest thing to a Pagani interior for under $1 million, this is it right here. Every single thing, from the pedals to the seat latch, every single thing is either aluminum or leather. There's like plastic for the seatbelt. That's it. It is just a beautiful car. I mean, look at the gear lever, the aluminum on the dashboard, the toggle switches. This car originally came with a steering wheel that looked like a propeller, but because it didn't have an airbag, in the coming years, because of regulations, they had to put this steering wheel in, which is the same steering wheel as in the Lamborghini Gallardo. But there is this guy on Instagram that makes a bunch of parts for Spikers. So he's selling the propeller wheels, which to me just completes the whole look of this insane interior. And just look at the glass right here, how this wraps around. This is just a beautiful car. So moving on from the Spiker, we have an Aston Martin Vantage. I feel like this is a Citroën 2CV. Could be wrong on that. I think Top Gear. There's a old Top Gear episode where they rented a Virgin Atlantic 747-400, and they put the jet engines at full blast, and they put this thing out, and the jet engines just absolutely destroyed this thing. It's absolutely hilarious. So we have two more Ford GTs over here, and then a Murcielago. This is an LP640 as well, I believe. Or I'm actually not sure if it's an LP640 or not, but regardless. Is that a 6.5? Oh yeah, then this is the LP640. So over here we have looks like a DB12. The new interior, that is beautiful. That is definitely an update that Aston Martin needed, because the tech was getting a little outdated in the DB11. Updated front? What do you guys feel about it? It's definitely a very large and striking grille. Looks a lot more aggressive than the DB11. I like it. I mean, Aston really cannot make a hideous car. Well, except maybe the Signet, but that's basically a Toyota IQ at that point. We have another MC20 over there. I believe this is a 993 or a 964. We got an F-Type. It's a nice spec on that. And then we have a beautiful DBX 707. This is a cool color. Love the color combination on the interior. Got a Range Rover, DBS, Defender over there. And there's the Defender. Oh, cool spec. Matching seats. That actually works. Sometimes matching seat colors does not always work on a car, but this it does. And look at this paint. Wow. Got a Continental, Ford Bronco, I think. Ferrari Portofino, Rolls-Royce Spectre. I think I just found my dream spec MC20. This color is beautiful. Oh my god, this thing. I'm falling in love with this thing already. Got a couple of other Alphas over here. Some older 911s over there. Sorry for rushing this. It's just so many cars to see in this video. I want it to be like 2 hours long. Another Ford GT. This is cool. Don't know what version this is. Oh, here. 911 Carrera 2 Coupe. Is this a Singer? So this is a Singer. I've never seen one in the flesh before, and it is absolutely beautiful. I love the fuel cap in the center there. But I don't know, a 1.3 million, that's a bit steep for me. It's a cool car, but I don't think I would pay that much. But man, it is beautiful. Cool color, cool interior. Look at this engine. Wow. Look at that. So we have a shift from a very classy Singer to a very loud and very pink Huracan. I believe this was owned previously by Jeffree Star. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. It's very pink, I'll say that. But I mean, it's a Lamborghini, so you know it's meant to be super loud like this. And I don't really watch Jeffree Star's videos, but I've seen this seems to really fit his personality really well, the pink and everything. But yeah. It's bold. So back here we have a Pista Spider. Look at this color. This is beautiful. I keep saying that, but this is a really nice red. Like the metallic in here is just stunning. Ooh, I gotta pop through here. Look at the rear on that. Pista is one of my favorite rears on a V8 Ferrari. It's beautiful. Interior on both of these are beautiful. I was trying to check the wheels because it's so interesting. That's an F8 right there, and it has carbon fiber wheels, but the Pistas don't. I know it's an option. It's just I find it interesting because this is not the lightweight version, but this F8 is beautiful. Carbon fiber wheels, very expensive option, and I heard they're not easy to find, and there's a very long waiting list to even get one. So if you curve these things, good luck getting them. But beautiful interior. I like the spec, and I'm a big yellow guy. And then we got a 675 LT Spider. Have a massive soft spot for that. And then we got a 488 Spider, GT4 RS, Wraith. Look at this color on this GT4 RS. AMG GTR and Green Hell Magno. Love this color. Still such a good looking car. And then we got the Viper and a Cullinan. All right, well, let's head back out up over there. So I just realized when I heard people pointing this out, this is an N Largo Novitec kit on this 488. Oh man, this is nuts. This thing is so wide. Probably sounds really good too. Oh, and we also have one of the best spec 765 LTs I've ever seen. And then we have a McLaren Artura. I just love the exhaust on this thing. It's so cool. Oh man, this is perfect. Perfect spec. Red with the blue. Oh my god. So the 918's here. Got a bunch of old American classics. Looks like there's a lot of Corvettes over here. Don't know much about them, but man, they knew what they were doing in the 60s because these things are beautiful. And we got the more modern vets. So we got a C7. This, I believe, is a Z06. Yep, Z06. That's a Z06, I think, as well. Nope, it's a Grand Sport. A whole row of Corvettes over here. And then we got some C8s over here. I'm going to probably get back to you guys when I get to a place where you can actually see the cars. So here are the rows of Corvettes over here that I just walked through. We're going to go through here. Go in this little area over here. This looks like it's an AC Cobra. Is that a replica or is that legit? It is a replica, 109,000. A C8 Z06 GT350. I'm not a big Mustang guy, but I drove one of these things and I fell in love with it. The noise this thing makes, the flat plane crank V8 revs to over 8,000 RPM. One of the most surprising cars I've ever driven, and I kind of want one actually. GT350R, 59,000. It's not too bad. We got a Portofino here in a nice yellow 488. I believe that's a C2 Corvette. Pre-LP Gallardo Spider. Oh my god, I don't know what Ferrari this is. Which one is it? A 328 GTS. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have gotten that. California, I believe this is a 355. Yeah, it is. And then an F430 Spider. This one's really clean. I love the Daytona seat inserts. You can't really go wrong with red on tan on a Ferrari, right? Then we got a 360 Spider and then a 430. I was going to say Spider, but it's just a coupe. So there's a bunch of McLarens over here. We got the Arturas over here. Looks like that's a 600 LT Spider. Got some really cool car models over here. Another Artura. We got, it looks like some more Porsches over here. Looks like that's a Speedster. I've seen this before. Flat nose turbo. This thing is sick. This is wow. Look at that. Look at it. I mean, this is beautiful. It's a little overwhelming. There's just so many cool cars here, and there's so many people. So it's like quite overwhelming to get to really see everything. We got a GT3. I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop naming because there's so much stuff. That's a nice spec. I mean, it's like not quite sardines, but pretty close to it. I apologize if anyone who's viewing this video and their car has been featured and I haven't talked about it. I apologize. There's just too many cars and too many people to really go over everything. Now we're moving to the AMGs now. Pretty nice. God, these Speedsters are beautiful. New GT3 RS. Excuse me. Nice G-Wagon in the Maybach. GLS 993, I believe. No, it's a 996. A lot of cool specs on the Porsche. Look at this. This is cool. I got these as well. We have over here. We have some of the S-Class Maybachs. We got number 1 and then number 2. The two-tone's quite cool, and these wheels are so flashy, but I kind of love it. It just suits the car so well. E-Class Cabriolet. What I don't like is that Mercedes is putting the Panamericana grille on the V8 63 models. This one does have a V8, but kind of I feel like devalues the grille a little bit. So now we are moving into BMW, one of my favorite car brands. My second favorite German car brand behind Porsche. This is so sick. Was this a Le Mans car? Because it's kind of covered the windows. Maybe it was. Let's go through here. So I've been quite vocal on here about how much I absolutely hate where BMW is going design-wise. I've ranted about the M4's front end way too much. And the 7 Series is, yeah, but the interior does make up for the exterior. This Pista, though, on the other hand, this is gorgeous. 600,000. Wow, these things are creeping up in price. The new i5 Alpina B8. This is cool. This is kind of like the more mature brother of the M8. This thing is just designed to go 150 miles an hour on the Autobahn like it's nothing. All right, let's move away from BMW. Oh my God, we got Mercedes, the old SL, Gullwing, SLS. Oh my God. It's just so overwhelming. Got RCF over there. Like, this is the section where you actually have to pay to get in, and I got a wristband, but there's just so many people there. You can barely see the cars, and I can barely film. We got an Alpina Z8, which was more expensive, and it only had an automatic, and I heard was slower than the original Z8. S-Class convertible, a bunch of old American classics, G80, M3. Oh man, what else do we got over here? Oh my God. I'm not even gonna name them, I'm just gonna keep filming because there's just so much to see here. So over here, we got a couple of classics, but this I spotted out of the corner of my eye, Jaguar XK140. My uncle actually has one of these. I got to drive it around Palm Beach about, 3 years ago now. One of the coolest and most terrifying experiences because I just did not want to break the car, but super cool experience. The amount of positive attention this thing gets is insane. Yeah, this thing is just so cool. One of the most beautiful classics, but the E-Type doesn't get any better than that in terms of looks. Okay, to end this off, oh my God, there's so many cars here. There's an XK120 over there, I believe. Stance Tesla Model 3. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut the camera and then I'll start rolling when all the cars are rolling out because I gotta get back all the way on the other side. I think when I was filming over here, I completely overlooked this Carrera over here. Wow. It's probably some really special Porsche that I don't really know about. It's probably worth like $500,000. It's pretty cool to see these things from the back. I gotta say, the 996 Turbo from the rear, I know the 996 gets a lot of hate, and it's not my favorite version of the 911, generation rather. But this, from this angle, it looks really good, and it's aged really well. Yes. Woo! Look at this bad boy. Ooh. I heard that V12 sound from such an distinctive sound. Woo. Nice color too.
Funny thing about that clip is that was recorded at 8:12 p.m., the competitor to that car, the Ferrari 812 Superfast. Anyways, that was taken when I went out to dinner later that night. My phone was about to die at dinner and just around the rest of the day, so I really didn't get much footage or an outro, so I'm just putting my B-roll footage as a lazy thing instead of recording an outro physically. Speaking of outros, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.